Hey guys, Francesca Motto here. I'm just sitting here with my blanket. And oh god, it is so cold outside. Anyway, I wanted to do this video here on TikTok. It gives me 10 minutes, so I just wanted to go over some things that people have talked to me about. And I thought this was very important. If you don't know who I am, I'm Francesca Amato. I am a national expert advocate, and I've done this work for over 18 and a half years. Oh my goodness. And I'm very excited because God has opened up tremendous doors, and we're all the way at the top. We're at the top, so we don't even have to go through Congress to do anything. But I want to talk about what we are still going through Congress. And the best way to find out what we're doing is to watch the videos, join the Wednesday night 7:30 free Zooms. So you can talk to your own Congress members and testify, and we'll help you with everything. They're free. It's completely free. We do have paid services. That's completely separate. But the Wednesday nights are for everybody, and it's for the Family Justice and Accountability Act. It's for making America's children safe again. And it's for Kids for Congress. And yeah, I'm just excited about that because it's the first solutions and open doors ever. But I want to talk about affidavits versus like what I do. And what I mean by that is that people that are serving affidavits to public political bodies versus like what I do and what some people do with regards to like telling stories publicly, making it public. So I'm going to go over that with you. And I'm going to read this to you off of here. So if I don't look at you, it's because I'm reading. But this is kind of what I would do with my own team. So these are my notes. So this is a team safety and strategy brief. And why public advocacy through Family Justice and Accountability Act protects families, and why mass affidavits serve to political bodies. Now, when I'm saying political bodies, I'm not necessarily talking about specific politicians either, just political bodies that you would go before in your towns and so on and so forth, and why mass affidavits can increase harm. So the summary is families are safest when advocacy strategies reduce retaliation risk, preserve family control over information, and expose wrongdoing publicly. So people go to them and they do it in public, right? But no one sees it except for the person who served it, which is improper service, by the way. So now I see people actually giving it to someone else to serve it. And then those people that are part of these political bodies. And what do you think these political bodies are going to do when they get this? And it's like you're being rude to them and you're putting them on notice, kind of threatening. They're not going to take that in a good way, let's face it. Or when I go to Congress and I work with these people, we're very friendly and we're not threatening. And that's why we're making good relations with everyone. And then like the ones that stand out that like didn't want to work with us, which there was only one, they have things behind them that we wouldn't want to work with them either. So, okay, so let me just kind of tell you. So it's retaliation risk, and preserve family control over information and expose wrongdoing publicly rather than quietly feeding it back into the same systems causing harm. So the Family Justice and Accountability Act model always prioritizes harm reduction and transparency. So it's all public. Everything we do is public. It's always public. So somebody can't say that they can prove or they're being retaliated and why and when it happened and the date, the timestamp is on it and everything. So publicly telling your story is always safer than an affidavit that's nobody sees it but the political body. Very dangerous. And I was wondering why I was getting attacked by this group, because at first I respected what they were doing and didn't think it was going to really fall anywhere, so to speak. But because it was not anchored into anything of our legal substance, but I thought it was good for like public awareness. But then I was like, no, these people are attacking me. There's got to be a reason. Deep dive, Francesca. And so what I've been doing is consistently helping families rather than endangering them. So why affidavits submitted to officials are high risk. Affidavits are sworn legal testimony. Once signed and turned over to public officials, counties, agencies, or private groups, families lose control of how their statements are used or who sees them and how their statements are interpreted. So these statements can be shared internally, forwarded to CPS, to courts, to prosecutors, school districts, and used in ways never disclosed to the family. In a corrupt or retaliatory system that we're dealing with, affidavits can become tools for identifying and targeting families instead of protecting them. What they could do is they can switch up the narrative in a different way, because that's what they do. They're manipulative. It's demonic. So they're going to just use it more against you. It's dangerous in mass numbers. We don't want to give them ammo. Okay? It's like the difference between being on the defense or the offense. Okay? Playing checkers or playing chess. Knowing strategy. That's why we're successful. That's why we're still here, despite the attacks, despite the false allegations, despite the lies, the trolls, the this, the that. We're still here consistently. And look at the doors that God is opening. Amazing. So targeting families instead of protecting them. This can result in new reports, emergency removals, psychological evaluations, contempt filings, or character attacks, labeling parents as unstable, paranoid, or hostile to authority. Mandatory reporter and institutional retaliation risk. Public officials who receive affidavits are frequently mandatory reporters and institutionally aligned with the system, because we know that these mandatory reporters, when you report abuse, it becomes more dangerous for you. But when they do it because they want to use that against you, you see how they manipulate. You see how that all works. You got to be smarter. That's why I tell people, don't go into court alone. Don't go in as your own ADA advocate. You don't know what you're doing, and they're not going to take you seriously. Okay, and there's a lot of work involved in what I do, a lot. It's not just a 1, 2, 3 fix. You got into a convoluted mess, and so we get you out of that convoluted mess, and it takes work and time. So the system's being accused too. So you're accusing them. It's very aggressive, what I've seen. It's very aggressive. It's not friendly. It's threatening, okay? No one takes kindly to threats. It's not a wise way to do things. So they can forward the affidavits to attorneys, that are like opposing the counsel, and they're going to start scheming. That's what these people do. You got to be smart about what you do. So why FJAA advocacy model protects families? The FJAA approach does not rely on mass affidavit collection. Instead, it focuses on case-by-case strategy. And I've gained the respect I need in these courts over the years. That's why I say to people, don't go around telling people you're an ADA advocate when you're not. You have no training at all. You're going to undo the years of work that I've done. Please don't do that. I'm sitting here training the courts every day of my life. Every time I'm in there, I'm retraining another courthouse. And the ones that I've already trained, basically, they're able to, we run smooth. Things run smooth. So you got to be careful what you're doing. You can't just go around saying you're an ADA advocate. People think they get a new word and they think they know what they're doing. You could be an ADA accommodation by sitting next to somebody that needs some emotional support, but that's as far as the job goes. Or you could be a court watch. That's as far as the job goes. Court watch. But an ADA advocate, especially with a forensic expert background that I have, there's a lot that goes with that job. It is a very distinct job, and there's a lot that goes with it. I'm probably going to have to put a part 2 to this, but why this model and what I've been doing has been consistently helping families and working through the FJAA benefit structured advocacy, ADA enforcement strategies, and judicial analysis and procedural protections that reduce the chance of retaliation by avoiding sworn mass submissions to agencies. Families remain less visible to internal targeting mechanisms with CPS and courts. Success is measured not by dramatic legal announcements, but by children staying with parents or being returned, okay? And services being provided instead of removals. Procedural violations being challenged, and families maintaining stability while broader accountability and while broader accountability efforts continue publicly and legislatively, okay? Now, public storytelling, that's different, like my TV show and all the things that we do and others that do it, that are doing these public, that's really, really good. That's wonderful because you're public now, okay? Generally, a lot of these go viral, or they can go viral, and that's different because when families tell their stories publicly through advocacy campaigns, legislative meetings, media, and community testimony, retaliation becomes less way more difficult for them to do, way more difficult. It becomes a sword and a shield. You have to know what you're doing. Please don't just jump on somebody because they've gone viral or because they have bots making them look like they're viral. Okay, please go and join our Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, free Zoom meetings. We will train you for your own Congress member meetings and bring you into your Congress member meetings and teach you everything about FJAA and everything that we're doing. Okay, and it's free of charge. We love to have you there. Bring your friends. Okay, you're not a victim anymore. We the people, we are it. We are making things happen. So join us. And then if you need help with what I do through Punish for Protecting, those are fee-based, and all that information is going to be here in description. God bless you. Have a great night.